What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Derrick Strickland, aka the FBA Book Boss. Guys, I am so excited, ecstatic, jacked up sideways for this NEOS Business Growth Summit Spotlight event. This Spotlight video. Man, this right here is probably one of the most important interviews that I've done this year. And I guess as the saying goes, you say the best for last. But guys, this interview right here, we're going to be interviewing Mr. Greg Murphy, and he's going to be coming on, and we're going to be talking about the importance of live events. And guys, as you are coming on, if this is your first time being here, go ahead and throw down there where you looking at me from. And guys, it's just going to be an awesome interview. We're not going to hold long. It's going to be a quick interview. I just want to introduce you all to Mr. Murphy, and just try to tell you all a quick story about how we got acquainted, and then we're going to get into the events, and also we're going to be talking a little bit about books. So guys, let me get Mr. Murphy. He's trying to come on now, and as you all are coming in, go ahead and let me know where you're looking at this from. So Greg is getting ready to come in right now as it's inviting him. So go ahead, guys. I want you to do a couple of things for me. I need you guys to like this video, share this video, and comment no excuses if you want more information to the event. Guys, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Greg Murphy, has joined us. Greg, how you doing, brother?
Hey, buddy. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of connectivity issues with my Wi-Fi. I hopped off Wi-Fi real fast. So thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, no problem. Listen, I want to tell everybody, Greg, now, I almost want to kind of take off my name when I'm on the video with you. They call me the Book Boss. And the reason why they call me the Book Boss, listen, the reason why they call me the Book Boss is because they see videos of big old trucks coming down my street, right?
Okay.
And they see pallets of books coming off of the truck, and they see us processing thousands of books every week. And we gonna call him the Book Boss. But guys, listen, you all have the source right here where all of these pallets of books were coming from. And Greg, man, if I never told you before, I want to thank you just for allowing us that part of that whole equation, with Zach and being a provider of books. Allowing us to work with you. You work more with Tasha really than myself, but man, just thank you for having that outlet. Because of that, I've been able to release a course on how to properly process books and best places to go find books and things of that nature. And I would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for you. So I wanted to go out and just say, thank you openly in front of everybody. And man, you are a true blessing to the Strickland household. So go ahead.
I appreciate you saying that. I did enjoy working with Tasha when we had that thing we did with Zach. And I'm really excited to come and speak at the No Excuses Business Growth Summit. That's going to be a good time. And it's just really exciting because, when I started this business 8 years ago, there was none of this information was really out there. There were a few people talking about things, but a lot of booksellers were really guarded about what they did. And and what that meant was that there were there was so much knowledge that was untapped, because even now it's not an industry that's super that's super sharing. And so what happens is that a lot of us have these issues. And so what I've done, when we have our live events and when we do our things, I always learn enough from the people that come to the events to make it worth my time. It's not about the, a few $1,000s I might make if I'm lucky from these events. It's about the tens and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue I can add over the course of the years just by getting a few different nuggets of information from people that do this around the country.
Wow. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to definitely be in the atmosphere, be in the building with the likes of Mr. Greg Murphy. Our event is going to be January 12th, 13th, and 14th, 2018 in Houston, Texas. This event is not going to just be an e-commerce event. This event is going to be talking about your overall business. We got people that's going to be at this event that's going to do some branding training, some people that's going to do some affiliate training for people that want to do affiliate marketing, people that want to learn more about how to make your money grow financially. So we have some financial experts that's going to be there. We have some people there that's going to do private labeling training. So this is going to be a well-rounded event. We have Mr. Dana Derrick. So I'm not for sure if you're familiar with Dana Derrick's, Greg.
No, I'm not, but I just saw Joe Waynick is on this webinar, and I just want to do a quick shout out to Joe because I read his first book back in the day, and it really had an impact. It was one of the biggest. It made a real big impact on my business when he came out with his first book. So I just wanted to say.
Awesome. Definitely, I need to check that book out. So definitely, I want to check that out.
It's called Internet Book Selling Made Easy, and I would say still that the high concepts are still super as valuable now as they ever were. So some of the details change, when FBA changes fee structures and all that. I've never spoken with Joe, but yeah, he's a great guy, and I appreciate him and all the impact he's had on a bunch of folks.
Awesome. Great stuff.
I didn't mean to derail anything, but go ahead.
No. You're awesome. Joe, you're more than welcome to come to the event and meet Greg in person, and that would be awesome. So, Greg, let me ask you something. As far as going to events, like attending live events, you can always buy a recording of an event, but to go to one, talk a little bit about what you think the most important thing is about going to live events.
Well, what it is in my opinion, at least, it's about the networking. The thing about in these kind of industries, we all don't know what we don't know a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And the reason I started having my yearly event is because I have a young daughter. I can't afford to travel around the country and be away from her as much as I need to. So I just throw an event at my warehouse to have people come to me. That's how it started. But in whatever industry you're at, if you can get in a room with people that think the way that you think, that are trying to do the kind of thing you're trying to do, it's way more valuable than Facebook messaging or watching an event later. It's almost always the networking is almost always the most important part. Once you have the basics down, it's all about, because you build those friendships, seeing somebody face to face. Then when you go home and you're talking to them on email or Facebook or Twitter, whatever, you have a real friend. And the thing a lot of people don't talk about enough, in my opinion, is how lonely internet businesses can be. Right? You can be isolated, and if you don't have a community around you, it can be really difficult, and we can be blinded to all the things that we can learn. And the changes that we can make in our businesses because we're in it so much. And so to have a perspective from a friend that you can just bounce things off of, that stuff you can't get it online in the same way.
Exactly. Like I've been saying in a lot of the other spotlight videos is that there's a lot of great information coming from the stage, true enough, but those moments where you're out in the lobby and you're talking in a little huddle over here, and there's little clusters of huddles everywhere, and it's just awesome information. Sometimes some information will be given out in the lobby that won't be given out across the stage, and it's just awesome. You got to have your face in the place to be able to get that information, and it's going to be a honor and a privilege, man, to have you there at the event. Now, we don't want to keep you long. We know you're a busy guy, and guess what? This is like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. This is what we live for all year long. But what I did want to talk to you about, as far as books are concerned, because I'm always screaming this because I've heard you say it. And in the book field, we actually have more than one Q4. In other words, there are more times throughout the year where books are selling. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, my partners, Nick and Anitra Jump, they do textbooks all year round. They're big into textbooks all year round. But what we will say is, I like to say a lot of times that I feel like I'm a genius for 6 months of the year and an idiot for the other 6 months of the year, right? Because January, between July and January, I feel like a genius, and between February and June, I feel like an idiot, right? Because of the fact that we have two textbook seasons. We have late August, early September, and late December, early January, where sales just go bananas. If you guys have only done retail arbitrage or selling stuff on eBay or whatever around Christmas time, it's basically like we get that twice a year for textbook seasons. And it's pretty amazing, but we also sell books year round. It's people talk about how books are dead, and how, you know, Kindles, and today even still people walk into my 20,000 square foot bookstore and say, well, Greg, I just can't believe you opened a bookstore like this when, you know, nobody reads books anymore because of the Kindles. And what we're finding out now is that that was pretty much a fad. Electronic book sales are down. Physical book sales are up. And really the only segment of the book market that's still not recovering is the mass market paperbacks, the little pocket books you can buy for like $7. You just put them back in your pocket, read in a line at a bank. That's the kind of book that e-reader's good for. That's the kind of thing that. But other than that, no, we think books are here to stay, and I'm really excited to be able to be a part of such a robust community. It's getting bigger all the time. Folks that are doing this and that are. And just being able to make their own future, right? We don't have to work for somebody else. We can work our own hours and do our own thing and provide for our families on our own terms.
Wow, guys, listen, that right there is just enough for you all to go ahead and get your tickets to this event. It's just going to be a wealth of knowledge, a lot of information going out at this event. And like I said, Greg Murphy, Dana Derrick, Keisha Bass, Otis Collier is going to be at this event. Becky Timms is going to be at this event. And guys, for the amount of money that that we're asking for tickets is really a steal, really a steal. So listen, Greg, can you tell the people where they can find more about Murph Books, Bustproof, anything you got going on? The floor is yours for you to plug it and talk about it.
Well, before we get to that, I wanted to mention one of the things you said before about how there's a lot of great there's a lot of great content that's going to happen on stage. I'm sure that's true. But when I'm speaking on stage, I know I'm speaking to a large audience, and I'm always afraid to say anything that I'm not 100% positive is going to be true to a general audience. Now, if you're talking to me over a bourbon at the bar, afterwards, we can talk about something that's applicable to you or something that I'm just trying out and I'm not sure about. That's the kind of conversations you can have after you see somebody on stage, just outside in the lobby, because there's a lot of things that, in my opinion, that's a lot of where the great nuggets you'll find is because people. It's not that we're trying to hide anything. It's just that we want to be 100% sure that this is stuff for a general audience and that can help everybody. But in terms of what we're doing, if you Bustproof Book Flipping is our Facebook group. That's going to be the best place to connect with us. They have conversations going on all the time. They get really into the weeds a lot of times about different topics, and I'm less of a details guy than my shop manager is, but a lot of you guys are having to do the whole show, right? You guys are working for yourself. You're packing up the boxes. It's a great resource if you go to Bustproof Book Flipping. And the last thing I wanted to say is talk about the reason I call my business Bustproof. And and what it's really about is, we want, as an Amazon seller, we don't have to build a complete business. You guys, all we have to do is find the product, send it in, and price it. And Daddy Bezos does the rest for us, right? So what we want to do is try to build a business that's as close to bus-proof as possible, which means if you go out and get hit by a bus, or you just decide to take a vacation, or you just want to take a nap, your business is still going to run without you. And using Amazon FBA is one of the best ways to get close to that.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. So, guys, once again, January 12th, 13th to 14th, Houston, Texas, the No Excuses Business Growth Summit, fourth annual Growth Summit that's going to be going on, where you'll be able to hear and talk with Greg Murphy. And Greg, listen, I just want to thank you once again for taking time out of your schedule to hang out with me. And I want to stay true to my word and get you out of here before we keep going on and on and on. Believe me, I would have you in the corner somewhere at that event, trying to pick your brains about some things. But thank you, brother, for all of the help that you've given Tasha and I over the past years, and just continued success to you. And can't wait to see you in Houston.
Awesome, brother. Have a good one. I can't wait to see you too.
All right, then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our spotlight video for today. So on behalf of Paris and Nikki Witherspoon, which is the founders of the event, it is always our wish for you that you all be blessed and then go out and be a blessing.